What if everything you thought you knew about death was wrong? What if the memories of your past lives are hidden within you, waiting to be unlocked through scientific evidence that researchers have been quietly documenting for decades? I'm about to share the most compelling proof for reincarnation that will challenge everything you believe about consciousness and the afterlife. Evidence so powerful, it's bridging the gap between ancient wisdom and modern science. But first, let me ask you this. Have you ever met someone and felt an instant, inexplicable connection? Have you ever visited a place for the first time, yet somehow knew your way around? Have you ever had a skill that came naturally, without any training or explanation? These experiences might not be coincidences. They might be glimpses of your soul journey across multiple lifetimes. And today, I'm going to show you why some of the world's most respected researchers believe this isn't just spiritual speculation, but documented reality. We're diving deep into the hidden truth about reincarnation, exploring scientific studies that document verified past lives memories, examining the rigorous methodology behind this research, and discovering how this knowledge can transform your understanding of who you really are. Before we explore the evidence, let's understand what reincarnation truly means. It's not just about coming back as a different person. According to ancient wisdom traditions and modern research, reincarnation is the soul journey through multiple lifetimes, carrying forward karmic imprints of our actions, thoughts, and experiences. From the yogic perspective, each lifetime offers opportunities for spiritual evolution. We return not as punishment or reward, but to learn, grow, and ultimately transcend the cycle of rebirth. This understanding of consciousness as eternal, evolving through experience, forms the foundation for what researchers have been investigating. Dr. Brian Weiss describes it as the soul's classroom, where we return again and again until we've mastered the lessons we came to learn. But what makes this more than philosophical speculation is the mounting scientific evidence that suggests these aren't just beautiful metaphors, but observable phenomena. For over 40 years, Dr. Stevenson at the University of Virginia meticulously investigated over 3,000 cases of children claiming to remember past lives. But this wasn't just collecting stories. This was rigorous scientific research with verifiable evidence, following strict protocols that would satisfy any academic institution. Dr. Stevenson's methodology was revolutionary. He didn't simply record what children said. He traveled the world, interviewing families, cross-referencing historical records, and verifying details that these children couldn't possibly have known through normal means. His research team documented names, dates, locations, family relationships, and specific events that could be independently verified. Let me share one of the most compelling cases. Shanti Devi, born in Delhi, India, in 1926, began speaking at age 4 about her previous life in vivid detail. She described her former husband by name, Pandit Kedarnath Chaubey, her children, the exact location of her former home in Mathura, and even intimate details about her marriage and death during childbirth. But here's what makes this case extraordinary. When word reached Kedarnath Chaubey, he traveled to Delhi to meet this child who claimed to be his deceased wife. Shanti immediately recognized him, despite never having seen him before. She knew details about their relationship that only his wife could have known. The investigation didn't stop there. A committee of prominent citizens, including a judge and several professors, took Shanti to Mathura. Without any guidance, she led them directly to her former home, recognized family members she had never met in her current life, and found money she claimed to have hidden before her death, exactly where she said it would be. The committee's official report documented over 20 specific verifications, from architectural details of the house to personal habits of the deceased woman. This wasn't a single anomaly, but a pattern Dr. Stevenson found repeatedly across cultures and continents. Dr. Jim Tucker, continuing this groundbreaking research, documented the case of James Leininger, born in Louisiana in 1998. At 18 months old, James began having intense nightmares about being trapped in a burning airplane, screaming, "Airplane crash on fire, little man can't get out." As James grew older, his memories became more specific. He identified the type of aircraft as a Corsair, said he flew from a ship called Natoma, and mentioned a fellow pilot named Jack Larson. He drew pictures of airplanes with specific details about their armaments and described being shot down by the Japanese. When James's father investigated these claims, he discovered that the USS Natoma Bay was a real aircraft carrier in World War II. There was indeed a pilot named James Houston Jr., who flew a Corsair from that ship and was shot down at Iwo Jima, exactly as the child described. Jack Larson was confirmed as a real pilot who served on the same ship. But the most remarkable evidence was physical. James had birthmarks that corresponded exactly to the fatal wounds that killed the original pilot. This wasn't coincidence. Dr. Stevenson's research showed that 74% of his cases involved birthmarks or birth defects that matched wounds or marks on the deceased person the child claimed to remember being. Another compelling case involves Gus Taylor, born in the American Midwest, who at 18 months began insisting he was his own grandfather, who had died a year before Gus was born. Gus knew intimate family details, recognized people in old photographs, and displayed personality traits identical to his grandfather, including a fear of a specific basement that his grandfather had developed after a traumatic experience there. The scientific rigor of this research cannot be overstated. Dr. Stevenson published his findings in peer-reviewed journals, presented at medical conferences, and subjected his work to the scrutiny of the international scientific community. His cases were investigated by independent researchers, skeptics, and journalists, yet the core findings remained consistent. The methodology involves multiple verification steps. First, researchers document the child's statements before any investigation begins. Then they attempt to identify the deceased person based solely on the child's information. Only after independent verification do they arrange meetings between the child and the previous personality's family. This prevents contamination of evidence and ensures the child's knowledge couldn't have been acquired through normal means. Critics have raised important questions about these cases. Could the children have overheard conversations? Could families be unconsciously coaching them? Could this be elaborate fraud? Dr. Stevenson and his colleagues addressed each of these concerns systematically. In many cases, the children's statements were recorded before any contact with the previous personality's family. Independent witnesses verified that the families had no prior connection. The specific nature of the information, often including intimate details that wouldn't be publicly known, makes fraud extremely unlikely. The research extends beyond children's memories. Dr. Brian Weiss, a traditionally trained psychiatrist and graduate of Yale Medical School, discovered something that revolutionized therapeutic healing through past life regression. His patient Catherine, suffering from debilitating phobias and anxiety that traditional therapy couldn't touch, began describing vivid scenes from apparent past lives under hypnosis. As Catherine relived these experiences, her present life symptoms disappeared. But Dr. Weiss remained skeptical until Catherine began providing information she couldn't possibly know. She described details about his own family, his father's death, and personal information never discussed in therapy. Catherine was accessing what appeared to be universal consciousness, speaking with the wisdom of spiritual guides who claimed to oversee souls between lifetimes. The therapeutic results speak for themselves. Patients healing from traumas that traditional therapy couldn't touch, gaining insights that transform their understanding of karma and spiritual awakening. Dr. Weiss has documented thousands of similar cases over 4 decades of practice, with consistent patterns of healing and transformation. What's remarkable is how this scientific evidence aligns with ancient wisdom about consciousness and the soul journey. Cultures across the world, from Tibetan Buddhism to ancient Egyptian beliefs, from Hindu traditions to indigenous shamanic practices, have long understood consciousness as something that transcends physical death. Modern quantum consciousness research is beginning to provide theoretical frameworks that could explain how memories and experiences might transcend physical death. Dr. Stuart Hameroff and Sir Roger Penrose propose that consciousness operates at the quantum level, potentially explaining how information could be preserved and transferred beyond the death of the brain. Their theory suggests that consciousness isn't produced by the brain, but rather the brain acts as a receiver or interface for consciousness that exists at a fundamental level of reality. This would mean that when the brain dies, consciousness continues to exist, potentially carrying forward memories and experiences into new physical forms. From this perspective, reincarnation isn't about punishment or reward. It's about spiritual evolution. Each lifetime offers opportunities to transcend karmic patterns and achieve higher states of consciousness. The scientific evidence suggests that we are eternal beings having temporary human experiences with infinite potential for growth and awakening. But how do we apply this knowledge practically? If this scientific evidence for reincarnation is valid, then every challenge in your current life has meaning. Every relationship, every struggle, every moment of growth is part of your soul's curriculum for spiritual awakening. Understanding your soul journey can help you recognize patterns that repeat across lifetimes. That instant connection with certain people might indicate shared experiences from previous lives. Unexplained talents or interests could be skills developed over multiple lifetimes. Deep-seated fears might be memories from traumatic past life experiences that can be healed through awareness and spiritual practice. This knowledge empowers you to take responsibility for your spiritual evolution. Instead of seeing yourself as a victim of circumstances, you can understand that you chose this lifetime, these challenges, these opportunities for growth. Every experience becomes a chance to transcend old patterns and evolve toward higher consciousness. The most important question isn't whether reincarnation exists, but how we use this knowledge. How do we break free from unconscious patterns? How do we evolve beyond the need to return? How do we achieve the spiritual awakening that liberates us from the cycle of birth and death? The answer lies in understanding that consciousness is not confined to this single lifetime. Your awareness, your capacity for growth, your potential for spiritual awakening extends far beyond what you can imagine. Every moment of mindfulness, every act of compassion, every step towards self-realization contributes to your eternal journey. Whether you're a skeptic or a believer, this scientific evidence challenges us to expand our understanding of consciousness, death, and the true nature of existence. The intersection of science and spirituality reveals profound truths about who we are and why we're here. What patterns keep repeating in your life? What relationships feel familiar from the moment you meet? What talents came naturally without explanation? What fears seem disproportionate to your current life experiences? These might be clues to your soul journey across lifetimes, invitations to heal old wounds and transcend limiting patterns. The hidden truth about reincarnation isn't just about proving life after death. It's about understanding that you are an eternal being having a temporary human experience with infinite potential for growth, healing, and spiritual awakening. This knowledge transforms how you see every challenge, every relationship, every moment of your existence. Your current life is not random. It's a carefully chosen curriculum for your soul's evolution. Every person you meet, every experience you have, every lesson you learn is part of a grand design for your spiritual awakening. Understanding this gives profound meaning to even the most difficult experiences, knowing they serve your highest growth. The scientific evidence for reincarnation opens the door to a new understanding of human potential. We are not limited by this single lifetime, but are eternal beings on an infinite journey of consciousness evolution. This perspective transforms everything, from how we treat others to how we face our own mortality, knowing that death is not an ending, but a transition in our eternal journey.